What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It is a rainy Tuesday here in California. I don't know as far as where
It
you're
was
at.
kind of rainy here today, too.
Oh, it was pouring since last night. But let me tell you something, Adelia. I don't like rain, but last night sleeping in the rain, it felt really good. I actually got some really good sleep, and I hate the rain. I hate the rain.
I
But
love the rain. I hate the snow, which is
oh,
soon to be here, I'm sure.
Oh, I couldn't imagine
So,
living in the snow. But we are live. It is Tuesday. It is another episode of Still Conspiracy. We're here talking Broncos, Steelers, and whatever stuff the sports we want to talk about. Appreciate everybody that is here hanging out with us. Appreciate everybody that's going to rewatch this later on. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment for us. It helps us out with the algorithm, and let us know what you think. If I say something dumb, which is 99% of the time, let me know. If you haven't seen some good clips of the show, go check out Adelia's rant on the Colorado Rockies because she goes in on them. It's one of the greatest clips ever. It was really really fun to watch. I was actually part of it, but it's fun to watch the clips because it's a short and condensed version of the show. But
I promise I will not hijack the MLB Playoffs talk this week with another Colorado Rockies rant.
it's okay. We don't mind it at all.
I know.
It has been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
Just a lot going on. You know, in the next couple of weeks, Adelia's going to be gone on vacation. I don't know if we'll do a recording or what we're going to do. Most likely we're just going to skip a couple weeks, but we promise we will be back. We're not leaving forever. Congratulations to Justin and Brandy as they will be getting married, and that's where Adelia is going to go, among other
Yep.
things. So LGR crew is getting bigger and becoming more of a family, more than ever with getting
Yeah.
married. So
Yeah.
congratulations to them.
This will be the second LGR wedding, which is
I,
kind of crazy.
don't like to even think about that. Like,
I
when we
know.
started this channel, we would have had two weddings. No, we would have never thought
Yeah.
about that.
Never thought about that.
But that's awesome, and it's a great blessing. Adelia, before we get
Yes.
started and get into all our content tonight, let people know where they can find all the links if they like to donate, subscribe, all the other ways they can help support the channel.
You can support the channel by becoming a subscriber on Twitch if you're watching on Twitch, or you can become a member on Patreon or Ko-fi. You can always buy us a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee, and we also have Cash App and Venmo. You can find all of those links on letsgetreadynetwork.com. That's probably the easiest place to get them instead of me just rattling off the links. But if you are on YouTube, the links are in the description, as well as the Cash App and Venmo handles. And shout out to the audio listeners as well. We appreciate you guys. Been getting some good listens on this show as well. So
I mean, I have a bone to pick with the audio.
yeah,
Spotify.
bone to pick with Spotify. There will be a change to SDV talk going forward because of it.
Yeah, not really happy about it.
They're copyright claiming the Stardew Valley music and threatening to take down the show. So
And obviously it is like we can't have the show taken down, so we have to
no,
abide by it. Otherwise, I would say let's be a rebel and just fight them. But you know what? We're not going to do that.
no.
So let's get into tonight. We had some games on Sunday. Well, you had a game early Sunday, uh,
Way
and
too early Sunday.
I think it was a way too early game Sunday, and I think you agree with me. It was probably one of the most boringest games early
Oh,
Sunday.
it was ugly. I definitely fell asleep in the second and third quarters and missed nothing.
So we will definitely get into that, but we'll start off with the Steelers versus the Browns, a divisional game. Steelers, you know, we don't know what. I mean, I'll say I'm not going to say I don't know what to make of them, but I was very skeptical with Aaron Rodgers coming in, what he would be able to do. Arthur Smith has not been known to be a great head coach, kind of decent of a coordinator, and you know our running game has just not been there. So I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna look? And I just love what I saw from the offense. Aaron Rodgers, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, I will say the running game has been lacking. Jalen Warren came back from injury and had 52 yards. We had 22 yards from Gainwell, 15 from Caleb Johnson. We had some tight end runs. So I would like a little bit more. I want to see it's a little bit under. It might be actually at 100 yards total, but I'd like to see a little bit more from Warren. But DK Metcalf, Darnell Washington showed up in this game. Um, Aaron Rodgers was able to make plays outside the pocket, and we'll get into Miles Garrett, Adelia, but he didn't do a lot in this game, and really the Steelers defense just put a clamp down on the rookie Gabriel, who we've talked about. Bo Nix, Adelia, Dylan Gabriel threw it 52 times.
That's a lot.
And Quinn Sean Judings has, I believe, if I gotta look this up real quick, but I think he in the last few games he is so he's 61, 94, 82, 100 yards, only 36 yards against us. His lowest average was 3.9. We held him to three yards per carry. We were able to shut down that running game, and then we were able to shut down Dylan Gabriel, and the defense looks really good. Even though there was some late throws that got for yards, it looked smothering. We put pressure on Dylan. Um, Funny story. I don't know if you watched the game, but Nick Herbert, and Dylan Gabriel played for a high school championship in Hawaii,
Okay.
and Herbert took that championship. Had got to the quarterback. I believe they said 5 or 4 times, 4 or 5 times, somewhere around there. In this game, he sacked him twice. Could you imagine growing like you're in your profession and the guy that you had like a rivalry with, or the girl you had a rivalry with, comes back and does it to you again? It's a
That would be a that would be crazy.
it's a regular season game, but just think about that. That's
Yeah.
wild. The defense looks smothering. Uh, Steelers, it's put out there that they are looking for another wide receiver. Um, and with TJ Watt, Herbert, um, Alex Highsmith, there's a possibility that Alex Highsmith might get traded. They actually at one point had all three linebackers out on the field, which was kind of
Mhm.
crazy. Um, but when you think about that, when you're able to trade a guy, might be able to trade a guy that like produced last year, was considered one of the best edge rushers. You have a, a plethora of wealth when you can do that, and so you know for the Steelers team, even though I feel offensively we've been having some good games, I do think we need to get another wide receiver to complement DK Metcalf. Even though I like Darnell Washington, he's a
Mhm.
tight end.
Yeah.
And teams are going to start doubling DK, and we're going to start having, Roman Wilson had, caught a pass, but it was only one pass. You know, I didn't see much of Pratt Firemouth. We didn't see much of,
We
um,
haven't seen much of Pat Fryermuth this whole
no,
season, have
well,
we?
because, and I've had this conversation. Pat Firemouth is a good tight end, but he's not a good blocker, and I think he really got gassed up by Big Ben, and so I think that's been one of the problems. It's not really, and with Arthur Smith's offense, they're really about blocking tight ends. Even though they do throw, have the tight ends and they throw them out there a lot, they do throw, they need blocking tight ends. And unfortunately, is not the greatest of blockers. So I think that trying to get another wide receiver makes sense. I like to just trade draft picks and not really give up Highsmith just in case of injury. Obviously he's a good player, but push comes to shove, if we can get someone, especially from these teams that are hurting, like Miami or the Raiders or teams like that, I really like to make a big trade. It's been rumored out there that the Steelers are trying to go after, I believe, somebody in Miami. Um, there's a couple other teams
Hey
that have been
Jeremy,
mentioned.
what's up?
So I think that is a great thing for us right now. We're going into a short week. We're going to a Thursday night against the Bengals, another division rival. This has trap game written all over it. Um, just you know, worst case scenario written all over it. So as a team, we have to be ready. I know there was an injury. We had some injuries to Killebrew, which is one of our good special teams player, but Darius Slade did. I believe he hurt his shoulder, but I haven't seen anything yet. I'll look. I'll probably look that up right now. But we got out of that game uh, pretty scot free. Let's see.
Not a lot of
Yeah, I did.
injuries coming out of the
Yeah,
game.
not a lot of injuries coming out of the game. It looks like Slade is not ruled out for the game, so that's always a good sign.
That's a good
Um,
sign, yeah. Because by now they'd know
yeah,
for a Thursday night game whether he was going to play or not.
yeah, for sure. Adelia, I mean, from the outside looking in, I know the Steelers weren't probably a top pick to win this division because we obviously thought the Ravens, Joe Burrow
Yeah.
when he was healthy, but with the, the division pretty much falling apart outside
The
of the
division
Steelers,
is completely fallen apart outside of the Steelers.
yeah. If they're able to get this win on Thursday, what does that do for the Steelers, confident wise of winning this division, but also moving forward when they kind of hit a good rough patch of games coming up?
I mean, I think it's got to help, nothing but help. If they win this game on Thursday, that'll be 2 divisional wins in a row. And that's only going to get their confidence up. I mean, take a look at the Ravens right now. They're a disaster. The Bengals have been a disaster. Traded for the Browns' starting quarterback from week one. We'll get to that in a moment. But Joe Burrow's not coming back until like what, November, December, something like that. So they're going to be way too out of it probably by the time he comes back. Um, if the Steelers can stay healthy, I think they have a really good chance of just cruising through this division with the way the other teams are right now.
Yeah, and I think that if you're looking at this team right now, you're looking at the AFC. Bills have not looked the greatest. They're a
No.
good team, but they haven't looked the greatest. The Chiefs, I mean, they're not only getting beat up on the field, but they're getting beat
Hi,
up
Jay.
after games. For
Yeah.
shout out to our ex Steeler Juju, but
Yeah,
they
that
haven't
was
looked at
crazy.
that was crazy. And we'll talk about that in some later on. Um, the Bill, the Chiefs haven't looked good. The Ravens, who were one of the top teams, 1-5. So for me, the Steelers, I think trading for a number two wide receiver, keeping this defensive up because the first couple of weeks we talked about it, the defense did not look. It looked okay, but they were like giving up yards and
It's
things like
starting to
that.
click for the defense.
It's starting to click, and a big reason of that is Jalen Ramsey, the new additions, Darius Slay. I've really made, JPG's Joey Porter Jr. is back. He got hurt week one. He's back now. He's one of their best lockdown corners. The linebackers are playing excellent, and so it's now if you can get the offensive ball side of the ball locked in. I just feel like we're in a good place. Now we have three really big 3 games coming up after this Thursday game. Obviously, like I said, the Bengals is a trap game, so we got to take care of business there. But you have the Packers at home, the Colts at home, and then you go to the Chargers in LA, and then you go through the Bengals, Bears. Then you see the Bills, the Ravens, Dolphins, Lions, and Browns and Ravens again. So you get through these 3 games, and then you could. I think the Bengals, like you said, Joe Burrow might not be back. The Bears have not looked great. if we can go through these next 4 games and finish 2-2, I'll be happy. I think I would be very happy. You know, anything below that, I'll be disappointed. Anything above that, I'll be ecstatic. You know, we go 3-1, 4-0, like then I feel we're making some big progress. So this is an important game Thursday. We need to stay on track. We need to keep it. Keep our mindset as business as usual. And you're right. Jay talks about Derek Harmon. He made his presence very felt. So I love what I'm seeing from him. And speaking about this Thursday game, you brought it up. Um, and it's been crazy because I've been watching kind of some podcasts talking about this and everything like that, the Browns culture and things like that. The Browns had named Joe Flacco the starting quarterback week 1.
Mhm.
We are in week 6 now. They traded him last week, correct?
They traded him last week, yeah.
Yeah. So they traded the guy that they said was their starter and traded him to the Bengals in rival. Um, and Tomlin was asked about it at the press conference, and here was his quote. Says Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me because I can't see why you would trade your week 1 starter to a division rival that needs a QB.
Yeah.
Now, it's hilarious because I mean we both know. I mean, obviously, Bengals thought they were going to have Joe Burrow all year. Joe Burrow gets hurt, but it kind of makes sense. Why would you trade your week 1 starter
Yeah.
to a division rival? Like
When I
You're a Broncos fan. Why would you trade a piece that a team needed to the Raiders if they needed it? No.
No,
So,
absolutely not.
what do you think about this whole situation?
It was very strange when I saw that they traded Flacco to the Bengals first because the Bengals would want Flacco. He didn't exactly light the world on fire in his starts for the Browns this year. And second, because why would the Browns trade a quarterback to a division rival? It made no sense. It still makes no sense. Flacco's probably not going to be that great for them simply because Flacco isn't the Flacco that he used to be anymore. And yeah, I just this the trade made no sense to me from the Browns' perspective, and makes very little sense to me still from the Bengals' perspective.
Absolutely, and it's kind of weird because last week I talked to you about it, the Shador situation and everything like that. And look, there's something going on in Cleveland. There is something
Something.
going on because either Shador is that bad or they hate him and drafted him
I
for
mean,
whatever reason.
he was the backup QB to Dylan Gabriel in this game
Mhm.
against the Steelers, and I think that given the way Dylan Gabriel's been playing, they're gonna have to give him a chance.
Well, let me ask you this question, Adelia. You're
Yeah.
down 23-9 in the fourth quarter, about
Mhm.
5 or 6 minutes left. Your QB is getting sacked left and right and getting hit. Like he got some hits on him. Why wouldn't you put the second string quarterback in?
I have no idea. I mean, other than LOL, it's the Browns. I have no idea.
Or, like I said, they either really hate Shador or there's something else going on because
I
that
don't
is.
know. I don't know
But
what is going on there, but I do think Shador is going to start a game for the Browns this year.
oh yeah,
Simply
definitely.
because I Dylan Gabriel, I know he had a really good season in college last year at Oregon. I know he was a Heisman finalist. I never really saw him as a come in and be the guy NFL quarterback. He'd make a great backup. Shadur, I don't know whether he can be a starter in the NFL either, but I think they'll have to at least give him a look.
I mean, you give your day 1 starter up, and now you have him as the number 2 quarterback. Why not?
They
And
gave their day one starter up, and now they've got two rookies.
yeah,
Like, the Browns, like, gave up on the season already, I guess. Like, you look at what's going on with Cam Ward in Tennessee. Like, I know that that's not the same either, but he was great last season and then a Heisman finalist, and now he looks terrible in the pros because of the team around him. The Browns are not that much better, And I
On
think
that side on the ball. Well, I mean, on
on
that
that
side of the ball, they're
on the
pretty.
defense they're a little better,
Yeah,
I think. But I think they'll start Shador sooner rather than later, just to see, because if he does suck, they can then figure out a way to get rid of him.
yeah. But then you wasted 2 picks on a QB
I
in one
know,
year,
but like it's LOL the Browns. Like,
right? Browns being the Browns.
yeah. Uh Jay saying, if I were the Browns, I'll start Shador. Mike Tomlin will go easy on him out of respect for Dion, but still get the W. Uh I don't think that would happen.
Right, that would be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
just don't go hard on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
looking toward this Thursday night game. And the Browns, like we said, Browns being the Browns. I don't know what's going on with them. Uh, and we'll talk about the defensive side of the Browns, Miles Garrett with PFF. Um, I just want to know who runs that joint because, good lord, they are absolutely
That
garbage.
that was a crazy situation that
Yeah,
happened with the
and
the
we'll
grades
talk
on Miles Garrett. We'll talk about it.
about it. But in that game, we were able to shut them down. But going into this Thursday night game, I feel we should be able to win this game handily, especially with our defense, especially against
Mm.
Flacco. Again, trap game though. I'm not going to put it past the Bengals to beat us because it happens a lot with the Steelers. But hopefully we can get past this game and not be a trap game for us. Anything else you want to say about Thursday night or
I think that you guys will probably win on Thursday night. I mean, it's also LOL the Bengals to a certain extent without
yeah?
Joe Burrow. Um, yeah, it's just I don't know. I think it'll be a good game, but I think you guys should win pretty easily on Thursday night. Jeremy saying he's willing to give Shador a chance at some point. He just needs to prove that whole Colorado offense wasn't just Travis Hunter. I do agree with that. And Jay saying, since the division is trading with each other, trade Shador to the Ravens because Lamar will ask for a trade soon.
If we're gonna in division trade, can we need to trade with one of like either get Jerry Judy or Zay Flowers
Can
or
I can I just say you don't want Jerry Judy? Thank you.
I just want a number 2 receiver. That's all I want.
Yeah, he'd probably make a better number 2 receiver than being the guy. Jeremy saying they weren't fully out of it against the Packers, so you never know. That is true. That is true. And hey, Buck, what's up?
Hey Buck, how you doing How you doing today, sir? Yeah. So we'll talk more and more about the Browns later on in STV talk. But let's move on to the Broncos and the snooze fest. I'm not trying to bag on your team.
No, literal snooze fest. I fell asleep and missed the second and third quarters, basically. A lot of that was because the game started at 8:30 a.m. here. I know that it would have been even earlier where you are.
Yeah.
But I'm used to being up that early to watch Arsenal games for starting 11. I don't know why, but this game just put me to sleep in the second and third quarters. I did wake up to watch the end of it, to see that the Jets had somehow taken the lead on a safety that I'm still confused about. I just woken up, so I don't really know what even the play that led to the safety was. And then the end of the game, Broncos kicked a field goal to go back up 13 to 11. And then the Jets got the ball back, and they had some time on the clock, and they were working down the field, and they got to a point where they were at 4th and 8. It would have been a really long field goal for Nick Folk, who was 3 for 3 on the day. Aaron Glenn decides instead to go for it, and Justin Fields gets sacked for the 9th time that day. And they turn the ball over on downs, victory formation, Broncos win. This was a very ugly game.
Yeah, someone said that this is worse than what the United States did to England, and I forgot the rest of the joke, like 19 whatever or 18 whatever. I don't know. World War II. I don't know. I don't. But it was a funny joke when someone said it. They're like, "This is the worst
Yeah,
thing
I don't
America's
know.
done to England in a while."
Since we like left the Commonwealth or whatever and
Maybe I
became
don't know.
a union. Yeah, the Jets are bad. 1776. Yeah,
There you go.
that's definitely the end of the joke.
That's the end of the joke.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the Jets are bad. The Jets are god awful. And they still almost beat the Broncos on Sunday. That just tells you how bad that game was.
Yeah, and
Um,
we'll talk. I'll get into a little bit something with because the Jets kind of there's this weird connection with the Steelers, but we'll talk about that a little bit after we talk about the Giants things like that. But I know you have very high hopes on the Broncos, Adelia.
like
But you
my
get
high hopes are I want us to be a playoff team, which I think is still possible.
mhm.
I think the people that were like Broncos to win the Super Bowl are way out of their
It's still
minds.
early. It's still
It's
early.
still early, but like I think they're way out of their minds. I don't think you're going to do that with a second year quarterback like Bo Nix. I mean, he's not the second coming of Tom Brady. I've accepted that. So, yeah, I think he's doing well. They kept him down to 30 attempts this week, so that was better managed. But the rushing game did nothing. J.K. Dobbins only had 40 yards rushing as our top rusher in this game. Um, yeah, Evan Ingram got 42 yards receiving. That was the top in this game. Shout out to him. Bo Nix only had 174 passing yards in this game.
And Justin Fields had 45, and they said net wise he had a -10.
Net wise, the team had negative 10 yards.
That,
Yes,
that is crazy.
they the Jets were so bad, but like I said, they still had a chance to win it at the end, which is just insane to me. Um, but the Broncos defense is what won the game. Like I said, they sacked Justin Fields 9 times. Jay had said earlier in the chat that he wants Nick Bonito drug tested. Right here, someone drug test Nick Bonito. Man, been on one. 7 sacks and counting. It's actually 8 sacks, Jay. But yeah, he has been on one. Thank you, Ferris, for saying this is the worst thing we've done to England since the Revolutionary War.
There we go.
Uh,
I can always depend on my man Ferris coming through with the correct joke.
yeah. Jay saying Panthers should be 4-3 after this Sunday. Are you guys playing the Jets on Sunday? Because if so, yes, you should be. Jets going to be the next victim of the Carolina Reaper, aka Bryce Young. Okay, Derek. And Broncos have a fire defense, but J.K. IR Dobbins is the running back, so let's pump the brakes. I think they went with J.K. Dobbins as the main running back simply because R.J. Harvey is like a rookie. And they want to give him some time to like settle into being a pro before he becomes the top guy. J.K. Dobbins has actually been fairly reliable for the Broncos so far this year, so I'm not going to say anything about that yet. But you're right. The offense has definitely struggled this year. At times. At times, it's been okay. At times, it's been Bo Nix is passing the ball 40 times and we're losing on a field goal at the end because the offense just isn't doing anything. The offense didn't do anything in this game. I'm not as concerned about this one because it's the Jets and it's England and all of that. So let's get home and have a better performance against the Giants this weekend, which I am counting on because there is a bet riding on this game that you will see the results of live on this channel when I join Ferris for his play-by-play stream of the Giants versus Broncos. We are both going to Brandy and Justin's wedding, as you mentioned, and the loser of that game's team the loser of the bet is the one whose teams loses this game, and then they have to buy the other lunch when we go to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. So
I would just say this, Adelia. I know this was a bad game for the
it
Broncos,
was.
but at least they're not the Colorado Rockies.
Oh my god. I want to shout out the 3,100 people that have watched that short that I put up today. Thank
it's
you.
the 3,100 people that go to the game.
It's the 3,100 people have watched that short today, and very, very much there are 4 dislikes on that short. Simply because I think because they don't like the Rockies season. It certainly isn't because of the quality of the short, because the quality of the short is quite good.
It's probably the Rockies account, their alt account.
They don't show you who dislikes or likes
Oh,
videos on
that would cause
YouTube.
so many problems.
That would cause so many problems. So it's good that they don't show that. But why are you disliking my short? I just said it like it is this year.
It's a
Anyways,
hardcore Rockies fan.
as a
That's just
hardcore Rockies fan, yeah.
why? How
Um,
dare her? Yeah, you guys have the Giants coming up. You know the Giants got a big win.
they
They've
did get
kind
a
of
big win against the Eagles. Broncos also had a big win against the Eagles this year. Don't know what that says about the Eagles, but it's not good.
yeah, but now they got the CTE brothers coming in and
Scattaboo. Scattaboo.
Scatterboo. Scatterboo. You know what's funny? Hendo told me, he goes, that sounds like a racial slur. And I had to laugh
Um,
because it kind of does. Um,
yeah. I think you mean Jonathan Cooper, Jay, not
versus the
Jonathan
psychopath
Allen.
Scatterboo. Get the ball right. And Ford just likes her Rockies management. Right.
Yeah, Ferris, you're probably right. You're probably
Hey,
right.
if we're reaching them, it's
Not
okay.
that there's much of Rocky's management left. Everybody's either been fired or resigned.
But you have a big game against the Giants.
Mhm.
Is this at
It's in
home?
Denver.
It's
It's
in
in
Denver. Okay.
Denver.
I mean, how are you feeling right now about that? I mean, you like they are having the new running back, the new quarterback coming in. It's kind of a wild card
I think it's
situation.
more of a close game than it maybe was at the start of the season. Um, Jackson Dart's come in instead of Russell Wilson, and he's done a much better job for the Giants. Um, I think that I think it'll be close. The line I saw on the betting was -7 for the Broncos. So if they think it's only going to be within a touchdown, um, yeah, Ferris saying the battle we must watch is the tackles versus the edges. I kind of agree with that. Broncos have sacked the quarterback more than 30 times. I don't know the exact number in the first 6 games of the season. Apparently, they're the second team to have done that since 1990.
Mm.
So they've gotten a lot of sacks this year. A lot of games with 6 sacks. Like I said, there was 9 sacks in this game in London. I think it'll be a good game. I think Ferris and I are going to have a lot of fun watching it together. I do expect the Broncos to win, but anything can happen in the NFL this year, as we have seen. The NFL's been crazy this year. Like
It really
nothing
has.
seems to have been as like anybody predicted it at the start of the season. So
Yeah, it really has, and it's any given Sunday has always been a thing, but this season has really been one of those seasons. And since the Giants have made the trade, they've looked like a different team. Even and it sucks because they lost Malik Neighbors. I think if they don't lose Malik Neighbors, they're actually pretty decent. But it'll definitely make sure to watch that on Sunday with Ferris and Adelia. That's probably gonna be awesome. Adelia's gonna have to deal with Ferris yelling in their ear the whole game. But
it's
you know what
okay.
else is new? What else is new? Um, Kind of going back to the Jets though, you know they just are bad. Um,
Bad.
and the kind of the whole situation with Aaron Rodgers, you know, and all these things, a lot of stuff, especially this week coming out about Aaron Glenn flying him out, and pretty much telling him, yeah, we're going in a different direction, things like that. And obviously Justin Fields, that was our quarterback. We wanted to keep him. Um, like what I kind of lost my
I,
train of thought. But like the Jets, there was so much promise, especially after that first game, and now they just look like the worst team in all of football.
Because I think they probably are. They're 0-6. Um, they said, like we said, Justin Fields had 45 yards passing on 17 attempts. They only tried to pass the ball 17 times in the game against the Broncos, but he got sacked 9 times for 55 yards, which is where the -10 yards for Justin Fields comes from. Um, they don't have an offensive line that helps him. They don't have a defense that helps him. Uh, their only like bright spot is Brees Hall and
Garrett
maybe
Wilson,
Garrett Wilson. Um,
It would be funny for the Steelers to call and be like, "Hey, so Garrett Wilson, what's up?"
I mean, yeah,
I don't think they're trading
I
Wilson.
don't think they're trading Garrett Wilson, but I mean, I was gonna try to find out if Sauce Gardner in this game had 2 tackles. That's it. Like
I
he
did.
needs to be better now. Yeah, Garrett Wilson is hurt now. He got hurt on like one of the last plays of the game.
Did PFF give Sauce Gardner like a 96?
Who knows? But based on their Miles Garrett rating, they should have. Um, I don't know. The Jets are just so bad. I can't even begin to like analyze them.
Yeah,
It's just
it's very
everything is
unfortunate.
not good. And like I think Justin Fields is trying as hard as he can. He's a decent quarterback. I don't think he's terrible, but he just gets no help.
Yeah, and I think like going back to the Brown situation, you see the difference in culture as far as team with the Steelers, the Browns, the Jets. Like he was 4-2 last year. I think he had 10 touchdowns total with us, and now
Mhm.
I don't even know how many touchdowns Justin Fields has this
Yeah,
year. I'll check it real quick. But I mean, he has where to go? He has
4.
4 touchdowns. Like, and he's only thrown
799 yards.
700. Yeah, that is crazy. And last year, he was projected to have almost 2,000 yards. Um,
Yeah.
I don't even look at last year, but I mean that's just unfortunate for him, and I feel bad for the guy. But at the same time, like this is difference in culture and winning, and how you might not have the greatest team, or the coach doesn't have the greatest talent, but at least he goes out there and you put a good scheme out there for him. uh,
Yeah.
Feels he's a Shanahan type coach staff. If defense is first everywhere he's been, that is true. That is very true.
Um I do think as well like the offensive line is just terrible for the Jets. They do
Yeah.
him no favors. But ironically, he had more time to throw the ball in this game I saw than Bo Nix did on average. Um the receivers really just can't get open against some of these teams that they're playing. Um I feel bad for the Jets, which I don't like saying, but I do. Because it seems like every time they start to get like some players that might make them good, they lose something, whether it was Aaron Rodgers in this case or whatever, that just sets them 12 steps back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, like I think Justin Fields is trying as hard as he can, but he's just not getting any help.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just what it is right now, and
Yeah.
I like them
I
on the
mean,
Steelers, but you know,
yeah, like how much longer does Aaron Glenn get? They're 0-6. They're probably going to be 0-7 after the
it's his first
Carolina
year.
game.
It's his first year, though, right?
But still, are they going to go winless?
Jeez, don't be the Browns.
Don't be the Browns. Don't be the Lions from, back then either. Um, yeah, Buck also saying Fields holds the ball forever. That's true. He does need to get the ball out of his hands to a receiver quickly. He hasn't thrown an interception this year, I noticed, but that's probably because he's holding on to the ball for too long.
Yeah. Speaking of firing coaches, Brian Callahan of the Titans was fired after their 1-5 start. I think it's very
Yeah.
unfortunate. I mean, you have a rookie quarterback, but teams want return on their
Was
money.
this
They're
his
like,
first year?
that would be a question for Ferris. I honestly wouldn't know. Ferris will tell
I
us
can
so.
look it up.
But yeah, this is you know,
No, he was the head coach last year, it looks like.
yeah, this is our first firing. If Eric Glenn goes 0-7, if he gets fired, that I mean, as a first year coach, I think you got to give him 1 year.
Yeah. I just don't know how much longer you can hold on if he's just winless. D Weezy saying, isn't Woody Johnson's son calling the shots in the front office? That might be true. I don't know. Um,
Give me-
yeah.
All right, Adelia, let's move on to week 6 pick'ems.
Okay.
And we'll do week 6 pick'ems, and then we'll go into some other stuff, into the MLB stuff, and then we'll do STV talk. Um,
Okay.
we are. It's been a long week for both me and Adelia, and it's only
It
Tuesday.
has. It's only
It's only
Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's so ridiculous.
I'm trying to
Uh,
get ready to go on this trip. My mom's about to have her knee replaced. Lots of stuff going on. So,
Thursday night, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Who you got?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I got the Steelers too. Uh, LA Rams versus Jacksonville in the early slot, early morning.
This should actually be a really good game, I think.
We don't know. We don't know if Puka is hurt or not.
Yeah.
I think he's day to day.
Um, Jacksonville has been one of the surprises of the year to me. I didn't. I had never heard of Liam Cohen before he got hired as the Jacksonville coach, and he's done a really good job so far. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Jacksonville in this game, just because of the unknown about Puka. But I could see the Rams winning it too.
Yeah, the unknown for Puka. I would have taken the Rams, but the unknown for Puka. I'm still gonna take the LA Rams though. I'm still going with the LA
Okay,
Rams. New Orleans at Chicago.
I'm
Speaking of
picking.
we
Yeah,
are ass.
yeah.
Shout out Cam Ward.
Um, yeah. Cam Ward. Callahan was cooked after Ward gave his infamous quote. Yeah, and I'm gonna go with Chicago.
I'm gonna go with New Orleans. New Orleans
Okay.
has been playing good. Uh, Jesus Christ. Speaking of another, you know, crappy game, Miami at Cleveland.
Um, I'm gonna go Miami just because I don't trust Dylan Gabriel as a quarterback, and I don't think they're starting Shadur in that game.
You know what? Because PFF just gives out grades. I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
Okay.
New England at Tennessee.
I don't think that Tennessee's gonna get a new coach bounce, as it would be known in the Premier League. So I'll go New England.
Yeah, definitely going with New England. Tennessee is just not where they need to be at.
No, no, and I don't
Uh,
think it's Cam Ward's fault. I'll say that I don't think it's Cam Ward's fault.
Las Vegas versus Kansas City. Is Juju Smith-Schuster going to get sucker punched again?
Um, I hate both these teams, but I'll go
Yeah,
Kansas City because it's in Kansas City.
right. I was if it was in Vegas, I think Juju would get jumped, but we're in Kansas City, so it's Kansas City. I think is going to take
Yeah,
this game. This should be a good game. Philadelphia at Minnesota.
this should be a good game. Um, because of the quarterback situation again, I'm gonna go Philadelphia. Um, I just don't know what to make of whoever will be playing quarterback for Minnesota in that game.
Yeah, I mean, can we not see 4 tush pushes in a row, please? And I will go
I wish they'd
Philadelphia.
just ban that move already. I
It,
really
it, it
do.
only the tush push only belongs in the bedroom. It does not belong on the football field. Carolina versus the Jets. This should
Um,
be
for
this.
for all the reasons that we just discussed in the Broncos segment, I'm going Carolina.
Yeah, Jets are just bad. I'll go Carolina. Shout out to if I pick them in my when I've been picking them in my parlays, they've lost. So I'll pick them this week, and hopefully the Jets will win a game. New York Giants versus the Denver Broncos. I was gonna say
I
the
like
Nuggets, the Denver
no.
Broncos.
The Giants versus the Denver Nuggets would be a very different game. The Denver Broncos, I think, will win this game, and I think Ferris will be buying me lunch in Rhode Island.
Mm. Is he gonna get clam chowder?
He
It's,
might.
it's,
I'm not.
is clam chowder like a big? I think it's Rhode Island. I
I
got
think it's that whole area. Yeah.
I got faith in the CTE brothers. I am going to the Giants. Shout out to Ferris. Ferris, Adelia will be buying you lunch. I got you.
Okay. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
Um,
We'll see. This next game should also be a good game. Indianapolis at LA.
it should be a good game because the Giants gave up on the quarterback in Indianapolis. But yeah, who you got? Because this is a tough one.
I got Justin Herbert over Daniel Jones. I'm going Chargers.
I'm gonna go Indianapolis.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Indianapolis. Washington seems to be back on track now that Jaden Daniels is back, and but they just lost. I think they lost on Monday night, so that's kind of rough. Against Dallas, though, divisional game, um, rivalry game.
I'm going Washington. Sorry, Caleb.
I'm gonna go Dallas.
Okay.
Green Bay versus the coaches that hit their players. Arizona.
Green Bay.
Yeah, definitely Green Bay. Atlanta versus San Francisco.
Atlanta looked really good against the Bills on Monday night. San Francisco's whole team is like hurt. I'm still gonna go San Francisco though. I just don't know if Atlanta can string it together 2 games in a row.
Very true. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Atlanta.
Okay.
One of the front runners for the MVP, Mr. Baker Mayfield. Whoever thought we'd say that? Versus the Detroit Lions, who got absolutely beat B to A, belts to ass, except for after the game. When they beat up just Juju Smith-Schuster. Who you got in this game?
I think Detroit will rebound. It's in Detroit. I'm going Detroit.
I will go Tampa Bay.
Okay.
And the final game for Monday night, Houston at Seattle.
The other apparent front runner for the MVP, Sam Darnold, is what I think I've read today. I'll go Seattle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Seattle. Houston does not look good.
Okay.
There we go. We will tally these up next week. Have we been keeping track? I know it's
We
been
have
tough.
not, but I'm gonna go back and keep track. So
Okay. Shout out to Adelia for
when I have a
putting.
little bit of time, I'll do that.
All right. So now, if Buck's still around, he's gonna be happy about this. Well, I don't know if he's gonna be happy about it because his team is not in the playoffs. Let's talk some MLB playoffs, Adelia. Um, for all those Colorado Rocky fans that are here, we're not talking Colorado
I'm
Rockies, so
not
don't
gonna
worry.
rant this week.
um, Postseason's here. We had the wild card, we had the divisionals, and now we're in the championship. And right now, it seems very lopsided on both sides, as
Yeah.
Seattle has taken two from Toronto Blue Jays, and they're going home now.
Yeah.
And at the moment, the Dodgers are up 5-1 against Milwaukee, and they are going to be heading home after this game. So if they can hold on to this lead, they'll be up 2-0 going home. Um, we had some
They got
crazy
two
plays.
men on base right now too.
Oh wow, I'm a little bit behind you, but I'm trying not to watch it. They had
Yeah.
last night. They had some crazy stuff happen. Um, they had a almost grand slam. The Milwaukee player almost caught it. It bounced out of his glove, hit the wall. He recaught it, threw it in, and it became a force play because it wasn't catched. All the players had to run because there's 4 players on the base, so all of them had to run. But they actually went back and tagged, thinking he caught it, and it ended up being a double play, and it ended up uh, um, ending the inning. Um, it's pretty crazy. Great heads up play by the Milwaukee outfielder. I mean, he didn't catch it, but he knew to throw the ball in. Oscar Hernandez said he messed up, didn't realize that he didn't catch it. The left field umpire was waving that it was no catch. The base our third baseman didn't notice that, or the first baseman didn't notice that, so they had everybody re-tag. And had they just ran in, they would have scored, made this game a little bit more breathable. Blake Snell pitched eight innings, no hits, or 1 hit, no runs. Almost had a perfect game if he didn't give up that single. And but then in the ninth, Milwaukee does what they do. They get runners on base, end up scoring on a sac fly. Had the bases loaded to try to win the game. Sasaki came in prior to that. got some outs, but then ran into trouble. They loaded the bases. Blake Trinan, who has been horrible for the Dodgers, great last year, horrible this year, comes in, gets to strike out. They win 2-1. They're now in game two. You said there's two people on base. That's where I'm at now, so I don't know if they scored or what's going on. But it was 5-1 going into the on top of the ninth.
Well, they were currently bases loaded, with nobody out. Now there's one out, but the
Okay.
bases are still loaded.
So,
So
I mean, and it's the top of the ninth.
it's the top of the
Um,
ninth. It's not looking good for the Brewers.
it is not. I know a lot of people said the World Series they want is like Toronto, Milwaukee, or Seattle, Milwaukee. They don't want a repeat champion, which hasn't been since the Yankees uh, in a long time. Um, I know you kind of talked about it, said I don't want the Dodgers. I'm a Dodger fan, so I want the
I
Dodgers.
know you want the Dodgers to win. I don't want the Dodgers to win because I am a Rockies fan and they're in our division. Plus, I just don't like repeat champions,
Uh,
and like I don't like teams that like build themselves up for dynasties. I don't like dynasties either. So, yeah, I I wish someone else would win. It is looking like the Dodgers are probably going to win this series because I don't see Milwaukee getting more than one game in LA, if any. They're definitely going to probably win this game tonight. Um, and the Mariners has just been destroying the Blue Jays so far. It was 10-3 last night. It was 3-1 the night before.
and what's crazy, Jeremy Beer brings it up. The Mariners and the Tigers in that game five went 15 innings.
Yeah, I watched the last probably 6 innings of that game. It was stupidly entertaining. It was so tense though too because it like just amazing. So,
Yeah, they had
it was a
runners
really
on
good game.
base and double plays, and in the playoffs they don't
The
have.
Tigers should have
Yeah,
won that game, and they didn't. Shout out to the Mariners for taking advantage of the fact that they made it to the LCS, winning 2 games in Toronto. That's impressive, and especially after the way Toronto just basically handled the Yankees. So, Fair is saying timeout. There hasn't been a repeat since '99 2000. Wow, the
that's what I
Yankees.
said. I said the
Yeah,
Yankees.
yeah. I think he hasn't realized that that was the case. So he's saying timeout. That hasn't happened? Wow.
Oh, okay. Um, but this playoffs has been kind of weird because like you have the small market teams that are winning,
Mm.
and like Blue Jays put out
Shout
the
out to the small
Yankees.
market teams. I just want to
Yeah,
say this. Shout out to the small market teams in every sport. Um, when small market teams make it to the finals or the World Series or whatever it happens to be in that sport, I always hear about how like nobody's gonna watch and nobody cares because it's the small market teams. It's not the LA's, the New Yorks, the Chicago's. My teams are Denver teams. That's a small market, apparently. And every time, like the year the Nuggets won, everybody was like, "Oh, Miami should win because they're the bigger market." That has nothing to do with the talent on the team. I just want to make this very clear. Small market teams have just as talented teams. We saw it with Oklahoma City in the NBA last year, winning the whole thing. They were the best team the whole year, and they won. So shout out to small market teams for making themselves forces to be reckoned with. Because if everybody just gave into the LAs and New Yorks in the leagues, then everybody's like, oh, they're gonna trade Nikola Jokic to the Lakers. No, they're not. Just no, they're not. Nikola Jokic is very happy in
if
Denver. Like
if they do, we're gonna have another short of Adelia ranting.
We're if they do, we're going to have a special episode of the Step Back where I go off. But it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There's no reason to trade our best player to the Lakers just because Luca now plays there. That's the reasons I was getting last year after that Luca
Mm,
trade. So just shout out to small market teams and fans of small market teams because we can win things too.
definitely can. I think baseball is the one sport that has the parity to be able to do that because even though you can buy or get top talent, there's still talent around, so much talent around, and there's also luck. injuries, things like that. So small market teams can.
Small market teams, I think, have a lot of years where they are bad and they build through drafts and they finally convince a free agent to come to that town or whatever, and then it all clicks. Like Oklahoma City, it clicked last year. Denver a couple years ago, it clicked. Um, I just think that people acting like the only cities, and there are people out there that are like this, the only cities that should have the superstar player or the best player is LA, New York, Chicago. It's just not right. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Ferris saying Denver isn't a small market. It's like the way they talked about the Oakland A's in baseball. Oakland isn't small. It doesn't matter if it's a small city or not, Ferris. It matters if it's a small market. For TV, that's what it is. The Denver Broncos are a small market team. The Nuggets, the Avalanche, all of them, they're small market teams. So, yeah, it's just the way the TV rights market, media market, as Buck is saying, is. So, yeah.
If the score holds the way it is and it's 2-0 LA, 2-0 Seattle, are those your consent picks to make it to the World Series?
Yeah, I think Seattle. It would take an epic comeback from the Blue Jays. I think at this point, losing 2 games at home and then going to Seattle, where Seattle's been very tough. We saw how tough they were against the Tigers in the previous round at home. So yeah, I think that they might have a chance of bringing it back to Toronto, but I don't. I'm not expecting both series to be sweeps.
Hmm.
I think the Dodgers Brewers one is more likely to be a sweep than the Mariners Blue Jays one. Ferris, I would like to know how you're going to throw a tomato through the internet.
He would just do it. Ferris. He
Yeah.
would just do it.
Yeah. Ferris also saying this year the Knicks bring back the big city domination. I think they got a chance, Ferris. I think they got a chance.
Yes, and if you want to know that chance, make sure to join us this Saturday at the Step Back, our new NBA show. We're going to be talking NBA and give you our predictions for the playoffs, some of the awards, some two early predictions. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff, me and
Yeah.
Josh. So make sure to join us Saturday.
5:30 Pacific on Saturday.
Yes. 5:30 on Pacific on Saturday. I got to make sure to set my alarm or Delia to text me to tell me to get home so I can be on the show on time.
Set an alarm. Definitely set an alarm.
Set alarm. All right. Go
Plum
ahead.
Scoop out here terrorizing folks with tomatoes, apparently.
With tomatoes, apparently. All right. We're going to get into some STV talk. But before we get into some STV talk, Miss Adelia, let people know where they can find all the links, all the information if they want to donate, help out with the show, help out with the channel, or find out what time shows are or where they can be found.
The best place for that is letsgetreadynetwork.com. It is on my list to update tonight. It's like a month behind because a lot of stuff has been going on. But it's going to get updated tonight, and you will find everything you need to know there and all the links for the ways you can support the channel are on the front page of either the post credits or the Good Friends Better Rivals path. There's 2 different paths. When you go to the website, you will find this if you want to go to the Good Friends Better Rivals path because you're watching on this channel, and you'll find all the links right on that front page.
Yes, and make sure to join us on all our shows when they're happening. We got a lot of great content. We got a lot of great people putting in a lot of work. Obviously, we all know Miss Adelia is putting in a ton of work. So make sure to come hang out with us, join us, support us. If you can't support us, obviously financially, like, subscribe, share, let people know the show's going on, and be in the chat commenting. Like, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, follow us on social media. There's links to all that in the description of this episode if you're watching on YouTube, or you can find it all again on the website. All of that would really be helpful. So thank you.
Yep. All right, let's get into some STV talk with new music.
Music.
Is this the creme brulee one?
This is the Cocktail Lounge one. This is the one you said you liked better.
Yeah, I do like this one better. So going back to the Steelers game, Myles Garrett. A lot of people say didn't even show up to the game. Only had two, I believe, solo tackles or two.
Two
Um,
assisted tackles.
Two assisted tackles, not even own tackles. But PFF graded him at 89.9, including a 91.2 pass rush. Uh, and I sent you a couple tweets talking about Myles Garrett and how PFF.
Well, yeah. First off, PFF put out this tweet. They put out this little like minute and a half video breaking down their grade of Myles Garrett and how the Steelers schemed him out of box score production. It's a laughable video, I think, which led to this guy saying, Garrett had a really good game, just not in tackles, sacks, pressures, tackles for loss, or any other meaningful stats. By the time he got past the blocks, the play had passed him. But man, what a good try. A for effort, Myles, which is very true. I love that tweet.
I mean, I've had this conversation. I've had this argument with other fans.
You can't hear the music, Ferris? I can hear the music. Maybe I have it too low. Yeah.
But I've had this conversation, especially because of the TJ Myles Garrett kind of comparison, where TJ leads all these stats, sacks, things like that, but Myles Garrett wins in win percentage, things like that. And the video of that tweet, the guy talks about that. He goes, "Well, he had a great game because he won the win percentages, but he just when he got by the guy,
Aaron Rodgers had already thrown the ball."
Yeah, and it's like, what does that even mean? Now I can. Now I can. Okay, he can hear it. What does that even mean? On Sunday, Adelia, Myles Garrett had 5 total tackles. Or sorry, I think this is the last couple weeks. My apologies. 5 total tackles, 0 sacks, 0 turnover force, 0 QB hits, and 0 TFLs, tackles for loss. Look. I understand you guys want to pump up Myles Garrett as this defensive machine.
I turned it up a little bit, guys.
When he doesn't do anything, and yet PFF gives him this high rating, like, what are we doing? I have seen PFF ratings and how people use them. I just don't think they're usable. I understand, like, hey, this guy he gets, he gets around a block, things like that. Okay, cool. But it doesn't mean he's doing anything.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't count that. You shouldn't go, well, he got around a block. He's doing so well. Well, like the tweet says, or like even the guy that does the PFF, he said, oh, well, the ball was already down the field or getting thrown or, whatever.
His grade was so high because the Steelers had such a good scheme for him. What does that mean? Because if the Steelers had such a good scheme for him, then he didn't do anything.
Exactly.
It's the stupidest explanation I think I've heard from PFF. And I know they're just trying to protect the brand, like Dweezy said here. But it's pretty bad look when you give a grade that high, when the initial grade, the preliminary grade, was much lower than this, and that's the reason they came up with for why he did better?
Yeah, totally. And I think that a lot of people put backlash on PFF, and that's why they released that video, kind of like, oh, this is why we do it this way, and it's like, doesn't even make any sense. And I understand these are advanced stats that they use now, but I like to look at the, tackles, sacks, turnovers, tackles for loss, things like that impact the game. When you see numbers next to those stats, they impact the game. Oh, I got past my guy, but the ball was already down the field. That's still a positive for me, though. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what impact did you have on the game?
I think PFF used to be much better than it is now. The owner of PFF was actually an English guy. apparently. It was based in the UK. It was all like just stats. It wasn't heavy and deep in the NFL culture. They just analyzed the game, and these were the stats, and these are the grades. Now, in 2014, they sold the company to Chris Collinsworth, and he moved the headquarters from the UK to the US and expanded it and everything. And
That explains
he's
a lot.
the CEO now, and I just feel like it's just awful now.
Yeah. And I guarantee you every time he has a board meeting, he says, well, here's a guy that knows ball. That explains a lot. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
I did see some tweets. PFF is used by a lot of the mainstream media, things like that. Do you think they should move away from PFF or find another way, a more reliable source? Because again, they got a lot of backlash about this, and they've gotten a lot of backlash, especially with Myles Garrett over the last couple of years, of kind of like, oh, he's the reason he should be the defensive player of the year. Even though his team's been bad, he hasn't really played well. Disappeared weeks into seasons. Do you think they should, or what do you think would be a solution to this situation?
The NFL itself has all those next gen stats now through their partnership with, I think it's Amazon or whatever. Use those. They're way more interesting than anything PFF came up with. Like, I was on the PFF website earlier, and like, I'm not subscribing to their plus model where you get to see all the stats, because like some of the stats they had on there were just weird. Like stuff that I never would have guessed was a stat. It's just like how many passes made it to the sticks or went past the sticks if you're a quarterback. That was a stat on PFF. And like, okay, so he made a pass whatever the sticks are. I don't know if that's where the first down marker is.
Probably the first down.
Or if that's where the
line of
scrimmage is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird.
Yeah. And I think they're unuseful stats.
They are. Like, what does that tell you?
So I don't know. I've had arguments with people that support PFF. Average step rate
on sacks. Yeah, exactly.
He got there in 2 steps. He's amazing.
Yeah, they should do it, but they won't because it means having staff on hand to do the research. I mean, an NFL Pro subscription gets them all the next gen stats. I'm sure the NFL could give that to teams for free if they don't already. Use those stats. Like, I'm also reading on here that PFF uses qualitative and opinion-based grading as the root of its 0 to 100 player grades, not its advanced statistics.
Then that's the problem right there.
Yeah.
That's the single problem right there. That is ridiculous.
It's like, oh, he's Myles Garrett. He must have had an amazing game because we didn't see him at all.
He played so good we didn't even know he was there.
Yeah.
And just a quick update. The Dodgers did win 5-1. Yamamoto pitched a complete game.
Yeah, he was really good today.
Yep, gave up that one home run, and after that, nothing. Going back to LA 2-0.
Yeah. I just want to put this. Hang on, let me switch this tweet to this one and pull it back up on the screen. PFF gave Garrett a grade of 77.5 on the preliminaries, including an 80.2 pass rush grade. And then they upped it to an 89.9 overall and 91.2 on pass rush. He got 1 pressure on 24 pass rush attempts. Why does that get you a 91.2 pass rush grade?
You answered 1 question on the test and you got a 91.
And got a 91, yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I don't take PFF serious anymore after that.
I don't either.
All right, Miss Adelia.
Still means having staff to go through the info and package it together as a stat node. Trust me. I get that, but like, get an intern to do it. Like, you can do it. I do want to say one last thing. This was a
Sure.
meme that did pop up.
Yes.
This was. Hang on, let me take the banner down so you can see the rock. This was Myles Garrett using his PFF grade to stop the Steelers' offense today.
So good. So good.
So good.
Oh my god, so good.
Right. All right, Shug. Anything else?
You know what, Miss Adia? I think that's gonna be it for tonight because we are both
Very
tired
tired. Yeah.
and got a long couple of weeks coming up, so we got to get our rest.
Yeah.
Um,
We will be here next week.
we
I
will
will
be
be
here
here
next week.
next week. Then we're taking a week off. And then I don't know if you can get a co-host for the following week. I will not be here the following week. But or
We
you
may
can just
have
take the week off.
we may have one, but we'll see what happens. And Miss Adelia, let everybody know. Oh, we already said that. You know what? We're just gonna get out of here. You know, make sure to like, subscribe. All the links are in the comments. Make sure to
Be sure to check out the Step Back this Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Suge and Josh are going to talk some NBA, and then on Sunday afternoon at I think it's 1:05 Pacific. Me and Ferris doing the Giants and Broncos game on Ferris does play-by-play. He's going to do the play-by-play, and I'm going to say stuff sometimes.
Are you gonna get dressed up like Ferris too, or are you gonna
No,
dress nice?
I might wear something nice, yeah.
I mean, you always wear something nice, but
I might wear something nice, and I might have a little thing like Ferris, like a little headset like Ferris.
love it. Can't wait to see it. Make sure you join them on Sunday. Make sure you join me and Josh on Saturday. Make sure you click the links. Make sure you join the Discord. Make sure.
GFBR on Friday as well.
Yep.
5 p.m. Pacific. So
Make sure to join all of our good stuff. Really appreciate everybody hanging out. D Weezy, Ferris, Jose was in the chat.
Thanks,
Jeremy
Jose.
Miller, Buck, everybody else that joined. If I didn't shout you out, I really appreciate you being here. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Shout out the audio listeners. Thanks for
Shout out
joining
to-
us.
Thank you for listening to my annoying voice. Have a great night. Be safe.
My voice is also annoying.
And like I said earlier, the only tush push belongs in the bedroom. Get it out of the NFL.
Yeah.